And while that's loading, you want to download image 1 of the bookcase. All right, and then while that's loading, I want to download image 2. And feel free, if you know how to do all this part of downloading, feel free to skip ahead a little bit because the internet is not the best. So, and it just takes forever for like things to load in Photopea. So, all right, and then you're going to download the books. All right, so now that I have all those downloaded, you want to start by opening just the bookcase. So I'm going to go to open from computer, or you can just go to file, open. And you want to look there for your recent downloads. So I'm going to do bookshelf. Okay. So with that open, I'm now going to go to File, Open in Place. And let's start with that mannequin. So again, recent. All right, so you guys are going to be a little bit different than my kids working in class. I'm requiring them of putting more images in. That's just because I think the in-school Photoshop is a little bit faster than this. And Photopea crashes, there's a bigger chance of it crashing. Like if your browser goes down, you lose everything. So I don't want you guys to be stressed by doing too much at a time. So I'm just going to have you guys do the mannequin, the books, and you choose one other object of your choice. And I'll walk you through that here in the one of the next video tutorial links. So right now I am sizing down this mannequin like this. And he is going to go on the bottom part of the bookshelf. So once you get him sized down, hit enter. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in with Control Plus. I'm going to press down my space bar to grab and kind of drag. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I just need to get a little bit closer to see what I'm doing. And let's try using your magic wand tool and selecting that background. And then we got to get the little parts in between. So you can see here, if you hold shift, you have this little spot here, little parts between his legs. You might get this little tiny sliver there, okay? Again, if you mess up, hit Control D. My tolerance is set at 30, so if you're having a really hard time and it's not working like mine, maybe check to see that your tolerance is set to a similar setting. So that looks good. We are now going to put a layer mask on it. So I'm going to click this button here, and I got to inverse it with Control I, and you'll see I got rid of that background. Now, the thing about this assignment is I want you guys to start using drop shadows. That's the whole point of this assignment. So drop shadows are found in layer effects, or they're called layer styles. Okay, so layer styles here, the EFF button. And you want to go to drop shadow here, the very bottom option. When you click that, this little box is going to pop up. And you'll see I have a shadow on them, but it looks a little weird. We need to change the angle to be, I'm going to say like 0 degrees. So it's like they're at a right angle. And the distance is a little much, so I might bring that down a little bit. And that looks a little more realistic, as realistic as we can get. If you want to make your shadow less blurry, that's the size option here. So if you want to make it more sharp, not too sharp, like this is too crisp. You want to give it a little bit of blur. I kind of like that. Hit OK. And that's really the big goal of this assignment, is to put objects on the shelf, get rid of their backgrounds, and put a drop shadow on them so it looks a little more three-dimensional. So if you think you can figure out what to do from here, you're probably good. But I would definitely watch the second tutorial on how to download images off the internet and put them in here. So this next part, I'm going to open and place the books. So here I have my books. I'm probably going to use my quick selection tool to do this. These guys are really large, so I'm going to put this down a little bit. I might hold shift. If you hold shift when you transform things down, it actually keeps them in their proper ratio. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to grab my quick selection tool. This thing can be really, really laggy. I apologize, you guys, if you're working on a Chromebook like I am. All right, so smart object must be rasterized. Yes, we'll hit OK. That's normal. And with quick selection, remember, it's kind of like painting with a paintbrush. And again, it is quick. So you'll see it likes to be a little extra. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key. Get rid of that. And then let go of Alt. I'm going to add. That looks pretty good. Again, you might have a worse experience. I've noticed Photopea is kind of all over the place. Like sometimes things work great, sometimes not. This looks good for me. You might have to Alt to get rid of some of the extra background if it selects too much. I'm going to put a layer mask on it. And I don't have to inverse it. It looks good. So let's go ahead and put a layer style on it. EFF, drop shadow. And it keeps the same settings as I had for the mannequin. So you want to just hit OK. So just to be careful, let's go ahead and go to File, Save as PSD. Let's save a PSD version of this in case your browser crashes and you don't lose all this work that you've done so far. So I want to go ahead and stop my recording, and then the next little tutorial will be like a 2-minute tutorial showing you how to download images off Google to put in here, because you want to put one other item here.